question he asked him, and like Andrew Luck was like, like played off the awkward question.
He's got that weird like voice.
Like it goes both ways, I guess. Like that's the weird question. Like if he asked him about his neck beard or something. Like I just thought Tom Hanks wouldn't have trouble talking to a professional athlete, but it seems like he was even starstruck. So we do forget that even the stars, when they see some of these athletes, they get a little bit starstruck and ask some stupid questions. So y'all shouldn't be massacring us, I guess, when we're talking with some stars, maybe. But they did post for a couple pictures, and I do have to say, it was definitely, it looked strange. I don't know. It looked
uncomfortable looking picture.
It was very uncomfortable. Yes, it was very, very uncomfortable. Kind of like Chris Broussard and KD have been. Have you seen this?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm with Chris Broussard on this one.
I am too.
Because it's like
KD is a baby. How's he going to go to New York? Really? Please tell me he's not really thinking about that. That can't be real.
So this is the story where Chris Broussard talked about texting KD. "Quote unquote," texting him.
Mm-hmm.
And then through Twitter, Kevin Durant responded that he was lying because he didn't even have his number. But the truth came out that Chris Broussard was talking about DMs on Twitter and Instagram, which are we really going to are we nitpicking at this point? Like,
I think it's
really
the dumbest thing I've ever
KD just has
seen.
a way about him just to try to make other people look dumb. And I don't know why he does it. Maybe some insecurities going on that way, but did you hear that also DeMarcus Cousins apparently is on a faster track back than Kevin Durant from injury? I don't know. There was a report on CBS Sports that I read about that.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
So yeah, because Steve Kerr came in. It was on the 16th, I believe. Steve Kerr.
That can't be right.
I'm serious. On the post-game press conference, Steve Kerr said that the injury to KD's calf was way more serious than they originally thought.
Whoa.
So we're going to have to see. I don't know if, apparently, from what I've been reading, there's not an expected return date for either at this point. And they're definitely not going to be back for game one of the finals.
I do have to say, if Boogie is back before KD, and he's trying to get back. He's on his road to recovery. He wants to play in the finals. He wants to get that chip. He wants to be a part of the team. He wants to do something. I mean, this is something he's dreamed of his whole life. He's never had a chip. But, man, let me tell you something. If Boogie actually returns before Kevin Durant, I'm going to tell you right now, Steve Kerr, I know he came out and said that Kevin Durant is not close to returning. I honestly am going to tell you this. I truly thought that was BS sportsmanship. Gabe, you're making me think to myself, this may not be BS sportsmanship, but this may be BS feelings hurt, and I can fake a deadgum calf injury. If they don't need me, I'm the 2-time MVP, deadgum finals MVP, 2 chips. Y'all don't need me, please.
That might be a stretch, man.
Man, listen, if you're telling me that a calf injury is going to keep you out of the finals.
Well, if it's torn.
There's people who have played in the Super Bowl with broken legs.
What I don't understand is how they're saying he's on a faster track when DeMarcus Cousins tore his quad.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. But my favorite story from last night is Rajai Davis. Rajai Davis took an 112-mile Uber.
That was hilarious.
To the Met Stadium to be able to play in the game last night.
Looked it up 4 times. Still can't find how much it cost.
Oh, I don't think he was talking about how he was not going to pay for it because that is a lot. 112 miles in an Uber will get you a nice little fee. But, yeah, he showed up in the 3rd inning, and Mickey Callaway was talking about after the game he was having trouble finding where to go in the stadium because he had never been there. And then it turns out, I forget what inning he hit a go-ahead home run last night. Coming off the bench, pinch hitting.
It was really awesome, to be honest with you.
It's awesome. And he had his post-game interview was one for the books. That was hilarious. I don't know if you've seen it yet, John, but it is. Go watch it when you get a chance.
Look, by the way, it is hilarious. And I want to go one thing back to Kevin Durant because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. I looked up Adrian Wojnarowski. I looked him up. Woj always drops bombs.
Mark Stein is the one who reported on his calf injury.
I was going to say, I got Brad Botkin, Mark Stein. I have Adrian Wojnarowski, and I also have Mr. Clapback, also Chris Broussard. Anyway, and this is according to Dr. Beyer. They said he believes he should getting physical therapy, anti-inflammatories, icing it, and working it out. There's no way that he shouldn't be back by game 4 against Portland or Denver. If he does have to push it back because the injury is a little bit worse, he can't see him missing more than the first 2 games of the finals. That's according to orthopedic surgeon Dr. Byers. Again, I don't understand. I ain't going to argue with no doctor. I looked it up again at another spot, and it says Steve Kerr. See, this is what's so funny. The doctors aren't saying it's worse. It's Steve Kerr who is saying it's worse. I didn't know Steve Kerr was reading MRI. It says Warriors coach Steve Kerr says the MRI is much worse than anticipated. I don't see the doctor saying that. Again, Dr. Byers said he could be back in the last series. In worst case scenario, missed the first 2 games of the finals.
But when people are reporting on this, I have not heard anything about KD. I haven't even heard. Have you?
No, that's why I looked it up. I got it right here. And that's what I said. I went and looked it all up. All right here. Dr. Byers says he should be okay. And then the only person that says he's not okay is Steve Kerr. And again, that's when I said I didn't know Steve Kerr was a doctor. Now, does he talk to Kevin Durant? Absolutely.
I can't see Steve Kerr shooting us the wrong direction on when his players going to be back.
I was thinking he was doing gamesmanship, but he's also making me sound like he's putting it out there because he's wanting to light a fire under KD because he knows there's 2 conflicting stories now out there. One, Kerr saying the calf strain is worse than it's not responded well to treatment. It's worse than anticipated. Again, we're talking about a calf strain. I know guys who played football games with broken legs, man. And if this is the finals, I'm telling you, if this is, I might have to miss the first 2 games if I'm trying to get back 100%. But if they started down 0-2, you couldn't keep me down if I was Kevin Durant out of the finals and trying to get that chip. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he just wants to come in there and rescue it. Maybe he's going to get healthy. But just the simple fact that Boogie is on a
faster
track makes me think that's just impossible.
It makes me think that they're holding back some of the truth about his calf.
Man, see, I don't think a Dr. Byers would come out and put his name next to something the way he did. And I mean, that's his livelihood. That's his respect. That's like, I mean, you see what I'm saying? He's an orthopedic surgeon. He was the first to read his MRI. I don't see him going out there and trying to falsify it. I've been dealing with doctors. By the way, I got great news yesterday. So y'all can thank you for all the good thoughts and prayers. They don't say nice things at all. Like, they don't ever say anything good. Like, I thought they should wheel out like balloons and a stripper and a 5th of Jack Daniels and we should party, you know? But it wasn't like that. It was like, you're not going to die. Thank you. You know? But
we have to do more tests to make sure you're not going to die.
But see, like with KD, this guy came out and said that he has a calf strain. That with ice, rest, anti-inflammatories, he should be back.
With strains, there's obviously different grades. So
there are. But hold on, you know what Cousins had, right? A torn quadricep muscle. Torn.
Yes.
Like it was separated. His quadricep muscle was
torn. And again, with tears, there's grades too. So me personally, from what I looked at when I saw Kevin Durant get hurt, it just seemed like worse
he has
than
a
what they...
grade 2. DeMarcus Cousins has a grade 2,
which means it's not fully
torn quadricep muscle.
That means it's not fully torn. Grade 3 is fully torn. Grade 1 is very partial.
Okay, and this one says he's got a grade 1 calf strain. And this is Kevin Durant.
So that means
he should be back.
It sounds like he should be.
Again, I'm going to call BS very when bizarre. I see BS, man. And I just see BS all over the place. I see somebody who is the most sensitive. Like him and Kyrie, like I've always said, they're the 2 luckiest people on planet Earth that don't even realize that they're lucky and they're miserable every day. And they can't figure out why they're miserable. Like nothing can make them happy. It's weird. They got, fame, fortune, got chips, but every single day you talk to them, they are sully, man. They need to find something to make them happy. Like, go help somebody else. That makes you feel good, I promise. When you do things for others, you always feel good. If you ever feel bad, go help somebody else. I promise you'll have a lot better day. Just a little sidebar. I'm telling you, that's no joke. Now, I do need to bring this up because I think it's hilarious. Did you hear about Dennis Rodman? Dennis Rodman again?
No, what do you do this time?
Okay.
He just like you can't keep up, man. It's like every week.
So Dennis is not only gone from like the most well-known like authority on North Korea and Kim Jong-un and his
He's
regime.
like best friends with him, isn't he?
Like he's like yeah,
they're buddy.
They're like all tight, man. So he's like the aforementioned expert on, my man Kim. And then we also see that he's so drunk and he's on DUI probation that he goes in to a yoga studio on Venice Beach, which has cameras everywhere, breaks a $2,500 crystal ball so that his friends could steal less than $500 worth of, yoga pants. I am not bleeping you. This is real. Like, that's why I think immediately
I did see this.
Lock him up. And then he's now slapped a man at his own birthday party. And the key witness is David Lee Roth. I can't make this up. I can't make it up. David Lee Roth. You know who David Lee Roth is, right? You don't know David Lee Roth? Hold on. So, okay, do you know... this is very interesting to me. Do you know the other singer? Well, you don't. Do you know who Sammy Hagar is?
I know who Sammy Hagar is.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. But you don't know. Interesting.
I've heard the name.
Van Halen, you're a Sammy Hagar Van Halen man. You're not a David Lee Roth Van Halen man. Like, this is...
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Wow.
Is that the two ways you can be? Is that it?
Dude, yeah, dude. Van Halen from like 72 to 85 was all David Lee Roth. And then on, it was my man, I just said his name. Why can't I remember now? I'm starting to talk about David Lee Roth.
Sammy Hagar.
Thank you, Sammy Hagar, Tequila Man. So now it's Sammy Hagar who's the Van Halen front man. But yeah, David Lee Roth, my goodness. Yeah, he was a wild man. He was so crazy they kicked him out of a band. Do you know how nuts you have to be? Like, do you know literally how insane you must be to be kicked out of a rock band? That's, by the way, successful. That just proves that he was partying like a rock star, playing ball like an all-star, and doing everything else like every other star, just too much and not sleeping enough. But yeah, I don't know how I got to that. Oh yeah, David Lowe, yeah. The reason I brought that up is because the weirdest part about the whole situation is, yes, the alleged victim is Jeff. I don't know how to say his last name. He's some 30-year-old
But David Lee Roth was in attendance.
Like, he was hanging out, and it was his birthday, Dennis Rodman's birthday, and the only person that was there was this guy, Jeff, David Lee Roth, and Dennis Rodman. So the only witness in the case is the wild man, David Lee Roth. I want you to pull up YouTube David Lee Roth Van Halen real quick. I need you to hear a little David Lee Roth. That just makes me, I mean, like, I'm freaking out. Like, unbelievable. Like, there's this video where he had, with the teacher. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, man, please go to Hot for Teacher. It's one of my favorite. When I was a kid growing up, are y'all out there with me at 67129? Pull down the music. Go to Van Halen's Hot for Teacher. It is one of the best songs. You've never seen this? Like, Gabe, you are a youngster. 67129, if everybody's out there. Are you a Sammy Hagar or are you a David Lee Roth
I have
guy?
to ask first.
There's no cussing.
Okay, we're good. So
Yeah.
I can go to the
Rock
official
this
music.
bad boy, man. Yeah, the official music video is really awesome.
Okay.
And it is beautiful. Look at the ladies in there. They're hot for teacher. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get my education when I went and watched this video.
Sweet, sweet Waldo. Now, Waldo, I hope you find some friends this year.
Oh, Mom, you know I'm not like other guys. I'm
John, what is
nervous
this,
and
man?
my socks
All right.
are
What am I
too
watching?
loose.
I can't believe you've never seen this. I'm taking everybody back to their childhood in the 70s. So you didn't watch music videos when you grew up. MTV
Waldo.
actually used to have music videos. And see all the kids that are up there? They're like beating on the thing.
Yeah.
And then David Lee Roth is about to come in and do his thing.
All right, let's check it out.
Here he comes. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Now, tell me you've heard this song, right? You feel it? Oh, yeah. Now, my question is, this guy who's hot for teacher, oh, you can keep it up, man. I can talk loud, baby. How is he going to be the guy that you could actually bring up on stage and say, yep, unequivocally, I believe what David Lee Roth has said. Now, I don't think David Lee Roth is the kind of guy that would be like, yeah, Dennis slapped him.
Oh, wow.
I would see him lying. This is school back in the day, by the way.
What do you think the teacher's going to look like this year?
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Isn't she gorgeous?
That's a good looking teacher.
See, I'm a David Lee Roth.
Oh. Wow. You taught me a little history lesson today.
Yeah, dude. So when you think Sammy Hagar, you're like, yo, Sammy Hagar was the relaxed version of Van Halen. And when they got too old and David Lee Roth was still kicking it, partying like a rock star, playing ball like an all-star, they couldn't take it because he was still hot for teacher. Man, he had a bad for teacher. I'm hot for teacher. Oh, I love that segment. Oh, man, I love Hardinwood because I get to talk about all kinds of stupid stuff, and I get to like educate the young folk out there who think that Van Halen and Sammy Hagar are the real deal. Holyfield? No. For people of my generation, it's David Lee Roth, my man.
Hey, don't get I didn't think too hard into this. Don't
I
get
know.
offended
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
not. And by the way, it's not like this is one of my.
So he was before
Oh yeah,
Hagar. So that's why I would know Hagar.
Oh yeah,
I'm closer in time to Hagar.
Oh yeah. Like in fact, when Hagar took over, and plus he has the tequila and he's got the Cabo Wabo stuff. So like he's a much more popular and he's a better businessman. And plus he's got great pipes. The dude can flat out sing. I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to being a young juvenile moron and liking a band, David Lee Roth was the front guy that I was just like, that's the idea of a rock star. Like that's like when I think of a rock star, I think of David Lee Roth. Like that dude got down and he was so crazy that they had to talk with him. They're like, look, man, if you don't like tone it down, we got to kick you out of a rock and roll band. And well, you got kicked out of a rock and roll band. Now, I talked a little bit about craziness. I got to talk to you about the good stuff in this world. And there are many good things in the world. And by the way, there's also bad things. The good things are, though, is that we're all 6 feet above ground. Now, I know sometimes, like when you get down in those valleys, it feels like the end is like so close and you just can't get any help. You can't catch a break. Well, guess what? I'm going to toss you a lifeline today. You think you're flipped upside down. You don't think you can get what your house is worth. You think you're basically completely messed up. Well, you need to call my friend Bill at I Buy Houses because they can do short sales. They can get you even a little bit of money. They can fix your credit. There's all kinds of things that you can do, but the one thing you can't do is sit on your hands. Take your hands out, pick up your telephone, grab either a pen or just get your cell phone, pull that bad boy out and dial 901-406-1101. Say it with me, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I promise you, I did it over 11 years ago. 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses, and he will sell your house, guaranteed to close in 5 days. Now, if you're a young working person, this is just the new way to sell your house. Kids can't do, like, they are too busy. You're too busy. Life's too busy. You don't want to paint. I tried to like fix my house up and like do it all myself. And I realized that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. I work too hard and I don't want to go home and work. All you have to do, though, to sell your house is you don't have to like have a bunch of people come into your house and look at it. All you have to do is call one guy, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I promise you, I sold your house. I just did it. And don't think that you're upside down and there's no fix. There's one guy that can fix anything, and that's my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Now, I got to tell you, if Kevin Durant doesn't come back, that's insanity. Now, do I think that they need him? Nope. I don't know if Toronto or the Bucks will give him a better game. I'm going to ask my man Isaac. I'm going to also ask Gabe on the other side, but I'm asking all of y'all right now. First Bank text line, even if KD doesn't come back and it's Clay and Dre and it's the old Splash Brothers doing their thing with Steph, doing his thing and all that stuff, would you think that, one, Toronto or Milwaukee would give them a better opportunity to actually lose the series? I'm talking about who out of the East will maybe take this bad boy to 7. Hit me up at 67129. We're going to talk about the recruiting class. We're going to talk about all the good stuff going on in Memphis, and we're going to talk about Tom Bowen with my good buddy Isaac Simpson on the other side. So don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Sports 56.